What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 stocks that you need to add to your watch list this week. All of these stocks have some major momentum heading their way because all of them involve a major catalyst that just passed by the government, which is the infrastructure bill. That means a lot more money is going into the electric vehicle industry, which is going to benefit every single stock that I normally talk about on my channel, like Volta Charging, Lion Electric, ACHR Aviation, and even the cryptos that I talk about like Bitcoin, Ethereum. All of these stocks and cryptos are going to benefit from this infrastructure bill, and I'm going to explain why in this video. However, before I get into it, if you're new, please subscribe down below, like the video as always, and turn on post notifications. We just crossed 3,300 subscribers, and my next goal is to hit 3,400 by the end of the month. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Let's make that happen. And finally, I do want to state that I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and due diligence before investing into any of these stocks. And now that I've gotten that out the way, let's get right into the video with the first stock on my list, Vlta, Volta stock, which is my favorite stock to talk about on this channel because they have such a great business model. I love this business model from Volta. They're making money from charging people's electric vehicles, but also from targeted advertisements. They have a very strong advertisement platform that targets consumers right where they want them to advertise for different companies, and they make a lot of revenue that way as well. So unlike Blink Charging and other of their competitors, Volta offers different revenue streams to look into as an investor. Meanwhile, other chargers, they just charge the vehicle and make money that way. Volta is different. They're making money from charging, companies like Publix or grocery stores to put their chargers in their stores. Some of them are charging for that, so Volta's making money from just having chargers in a location. Then some of them are making money from actually charging the vehicles. Some of them are even going to offer free charging up to like 5 or 10 minutes just to get people into the charger so they can see the ad, which is where they're going to make a bulk of their money. So the business model is very strong, and it's much different from any of their competitors. So I do like that Volta stands out in that aspect. But of course, need to watch them this week. They've been on a tear the past week and a half already. But with the infrastructure bill passing, more money is going to be poured into the electric vehicle industry. Who knows where Volta can go this week and heading into the rest of November. There's a lot to like from Volta with all this money, as I said, pouring in from the governments. Can Volta benefit from it? I think they are. I think a bunch of companies are going to be incentivized to buy EV for the government benefits, the government tax credits, and that's where Volta can come in and make a lot of money. Same thing with this company right here, my baby, the stock that I own the most amount of shares and capital in, LEV, Lion Electric. This is the second stock on my watch list for this video. I love Lion Electric. They haven't really treated me that well so far, but fundamentally, you can't complain about what they're doing, right? Fundamentally, they have the first mover's advantage in the electric semi-truck and school bus industry, so they're the first mover in both of those markets, which is huge. They're Canadian based, so they get a bulk of the Canadian contracts, and they just built a manufacturing plant in Joliet, Illinois, so they're finally going to be able to get a bulk of the American contracts with the infrastructure bill as well. That's my plan. The Joliet manufacturing plant that they're almost done building, once that's released, I believe that they could get some US people here as well. They're very prominent in New York. They work with Con Edison in New York for school buses and vehicle to grid technology, which if you're into EV vehicles, you should know about V2G. There's a lot of promise behind them. And then when you look at their fundamentals at what they're trading at compared to their future valuations, they're relatively cheap. When you compare them to their competitors, they're the cheapest. They only have a market cap of $2.4 billion, which again, when you compare them to a rival or any of the other competitors, that is a very cheap market cap that has a lot of room to grow. I can see this market cap doubling or tripling in the next 2 or 3 years. So this is a great 2x, 3x play for me personally. And it's in a promising industry, the EV industry, that just passed the infrastructure bill. Plus they have their earnings this week, 11/10/2021, so I think that's Wednesday. So keep LEV on your watch list. If they report a great earnings, this stock is going to skyrocket. So please anticipate for that. Some of my channel members, they know I'm already buying a certain option call for LEV right now in anticipation of their earnings. So if you do want to learn more about that, become a channel member down below. It's $2 a month. You get access to my Discord and everything else. It's great benefits. So go ahead and join. You won't regret it. Then here we have ACHR Aviation, the third stock. This one is technically an electric vehicle stock. They sell eVTOLs, which is like electric helicopters. And I don't really know if the infrastructure bill is going to affect them too much, but I do want to talk about ACHR because they have been beaten up since their $10 share price when they merged with as a SPAC. And they're only valued at $1.5 billion. It's still a risky play in my opinion to be valued at $1.5 billion and have zero revenue till 2025 essentially. But if you do like gambles and if you do think electric helicopters and eVTOL transportation is going to be a thing of the future, then I would look into ACHR because just their market cap alone, they're $1.5 billion. If they're able to pull this off, we could see the share price going to $100, $200 easily. Personally, I'm not going to be investing into this, but if you have a high risk tolerance and you do like ACHR's business model, and if you've seen some of my past videos and you know the risk associated with it, go ahead and buy some ACHR. This is going to be a great long-term hold. I always like talking about them because it's such a risky stock to talk about on my channel. People either love it when I say I'm bearish, people hate me for it, but at the end of the day, just because I'm bearish doesn't mean that this isn't a good investment for some people. If you have a high risk tolerance and you know what you're investing in, go ahead and try ACHR and just hold it for a couple years and see what happens. Like I said, the upside is probably the highest you'll find on the stock market. You won't see any more returns like this unless you go to crypto. Speaking of crypto, let's talk about another baby of mine, Bitcoin. I actually have 25% of my whole portfolio in Bitcoin because I'm just so bullish on crypto and its future implications. But for those who aren't as bullish, but again, you're kind of weak on the US dollar, they just passed another infrastructure bill. That's going to be more money that the US government's going to have to print and waste. Of course, a lot of money is going to electric vehicles, which is a good thing. But we know these infrastructure bills and these bills have a bunch of little hidden messages in them where money gets funded to other things and other places. And that's going to happen with this bill as well. And when that does happen, people are going to be upset because we're wasting money on things that aren't going to benefit the economy. And when that happens, hey, they're going to be upset. You know what people can't do that for? They can't print more Bitcoin. They can't print more Bitcoin so the government can waste money. You can't do that. There's only 21 million Bitcoin ever created, and most of them are lost in people's wallets from 10 years ago. So you know for sure that the scarcity of Bitcoin is forever going to stay. That can't go away. Institutions are crawling in here. You have Tesla owning a big portion of it, you know, and they're an S&P 500 company. You have a couple Bitcoin futures ETFs, and a couple governors proposed a spot ETF for Bitcoin, which would translate and pour in $4 or $5 billion more dollars at least into Bitcoin, which is going to be huge. When more institutions start crawling in here, this share price is going to increase. And as I said earlier, if you're short the US dollar and you think the US dollar is decreasing year over year at a very rapid rate because of COVID, hedge your bet with Bitcoin or even Ethereum. Ethereum's more of a more diverse play. If you ask me, I feel like Ethereum's the better play for the long term, but the safety of Bitcoin is unbeatable. You can't match the safety of Bitcoin and crypto. There's going to be no other crypto that has the amount of safety that Bitcoin has with still a nice amount of upside. Ethereum, this bad girl can hit easily at $10,000 in the next 2 or 3 years. There's a lot to like about Ethereum. They're well diversified. You know, if you're bullish on NFTs and smart contracts, this is the coin to look at. They are going to be launching Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to lower transaction fees in December. So we're a month out from that. And if that is successful, then Ethereum is going to skyrocket even more. And I don't see why you can't invest more into Ethereum at this point right now, because once Ethereum 2.0 launches, and if it goes well, and if 2.0 really does well for, you know, the crypto, this share price, this coin price, I should say, is going to be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt for not buying more at $4,500. I've been talking about this stock since it was $2,700. And now it's $4,600, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. Again, this is a bet on shorting the US dollar, inflation, but also just the crypto market in general. More people are adopting crypto. More people are starting to look at NFTs. We saw a huge NFT conference in New York. If you go to Times Square, there's NFT photos and advertisements for different companies that are making NFTs everywhere. So go ahead and look into Ethereum. There's a couple other coins out there that do have NFTs as well, but no one can match Ethereum at the moment. They're just too popular and they have too much of a stronghold on the market. So go ahead and check them out. And that's going to be the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, please subscribe down below. like the video as always, and turn on post notifications. I upload videos every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and subscribe. I promise you won't regret it. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys tomorrow in my next video. Peace.